Hey everybody, welcome to 2024 and Zoe's Canon Crowdcast, first one for this year. Welcome. It has been a little bit of time since I've run one of these, and I thank you for your patience. I have a lot of exciting, really cool stuff to tell you about, and I have a few things to update you on. We're going to talk about the plans for this year, and we're going to take Q&A, take some questions as well as we go through this. So let me, oops. Hello, let there be light. Do I look better now, Joseph?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so let me just pull up one thing here and we'll get started. Yeah, so please, so this is being simulcast. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on, I think, Twitch, or if you're on Vimeo, you are welcome to chat things up. And so please pop things in the chat. We have people monitoring the chat. Of course, we are a tribe divided apparently because there are 4 different platforms we're on. I'm sort of hesitant to get on more, but I guess we should probably pop on to TikTok and Instagram, IG, right? That would, my daughter says, Dad, you gotta be on IG, but yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's continue on. So, Zoe updates, folks. I am really happy that 2024 is upon us. There's a couple things that have been sort of a monkey on my back, if you will. We certainly, at the end of last year, we wrapped up the Fantasy Network, tied up that little that project, that venture, if you will, and sad to see it sort of close. But it took us some time to sort of recover from that. We had a bunch of outstanding Kickstarter campaigns. There's still a couple, but we've been able to sort of plow through and get a lot of these things wrapped up, which is really great. The reality is the results of COVID, the things that have happened that impacted our business, well, we are now just on the tail end of that. I'm really happy about that because for a while there was sort of the big question, like, what are we going to do and how are we going to handle this? And a lot of our success now, a lot of our where we are right now is because of you and your patience, your grace, as well as your encouragement, your support on all of that. So thank you very, very, very much. But we can't just sort of sit back on our haunches, sit back on our chairs and not get things done. You want to see a lot of cool stuff. So I want to let you know on a bunch of the cool things that are going to be happening this year. So without further ado, let's talk about Journey Quest, Journey Quest 4 and plans. So when I last talked to Ali, who's the producer of Journey Quest, in fact, it was just today, I wanted to see where are we, how are we with the edit. So the last time we talked, which was 2 weeks ago, he had told me that he had the entire movie edited. There was a rough cut, and it was around like 96 minutes or so, and he really wanted to sort of tighten it because the pacing's sort of a challenge. He's trying to tighten up the pacing, and that's something that we generally do is we'll take all of the footage, we'll do a rough cut, an assembly cut, and we'll see how it paces. Does it make sense? Are all the right parts in the right places? Is the narrative cohesive? Do we need to move some things around? Sometimes when shooting movies, it's a jigsaw puzzle. We have a script as a blueprint, but unlike building a building where you really need to follow the blueprint, in a movie, we oftentimes move things around because it makes more sense in a different place. We might change some dialogue a little bit or cut dialogue up because it'll make things faster. So there's a few things that we end up doing to tighten up the film and make it more interesting and compelling. So that's where Ali is right now. He just told me today that there's 7 episodes, And our post team is working on episode 6 right now of that, which is great. So there's one more episode. He says that he needs episode 7 to be tightened up. He's going to work on that this weekend and get that to me. Then Adam, who's head of our post effects, our special effects, will be tweaking all of that. From there, we need to get a fully locked cut out to our sound team and our soundtrack, our music team, who will then put all that together. We are driving forward to get this thing done so that I can have a copy in your hands before Gen Con. Once he gets it to me, it takes a few weeks for me to be able to have it mastered and then ready to go out to the DVD and the Blu-ray team. And so then once that's done, we get the Blu-ray mastered, we get it produced, it gets sent here, and then we will then be shipping all that stuff, all of it together. There were some questions out there. I saw some questions come in on the Journey Quest backer kit and Kickstarter forums around concern that they might have missed something, that we may not have sent something yet. We have not sent any physical goods for Journey Quest yet. We have to wait until we get the DVD in because we want to ship everything out at one time. Otherwise, you end up paying shipping twice, and that just doesn't seem like a good idea. Most people don't want to do that. And it also takes a lot of effort to coordinate that type of shipping, especially since we have so many individual items. Speaking of that, we've learned something here at Zoe. Look, when you run a small business, it's a lot of trial and error. And I just spoke with Ben a couple of days ago. We sort of laugh about the trial and error as we go through running a business. And one of the things I think that we've done very well is we discovered we can offer a lot of really cool merchandise and items for a Kickstarter as a reward in order to generate enough capital so that we can shoot a film, which on the outside seems like a great idea. And it really can be a good idea depending on the amount of people that you get. The challenge is in the fulfillment process. The challenge is that you order things from different vendors who then deliver them at different times. That's one challenge. The quality might be suspect. Generally isn't though. We're generally pretty good at that. The second issue is storage once it arrives. So as an example, we used to use a company called Gamerati, and we would be charged for them to store our goods per month, and it's usually by pallet. So just so you know, like typically a place will charge anywhere from like $10 to $30 or $40 per pallets to store in the warehouse per month. And so if you have multiple pallets, that can start to add up. So what you want to do is get a whole bunch of stuff in at one time, ship it all out really quickly. That way you don't incur a lot of storage costs. So that's something that we learned is lots of items, long storage time periods cost a lot of money, which is why we want to organize the arrival of all our goods around the same time so that it doesn't rack up the storage costs, because it starts to, we start to lose money off of that. And that's not something that's necessarily planned. Which is why we chose to move things from Gamerati to here. So we now have our fulfillment center here at Chaldea Studios. However, we do have a particular project that Ben has been managing, and Ben discovered a better way to deliver some items. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So there are a lot of lessons learned, and one of them is, if you have space, move the items to your location, find a person who's willing to help ship and fulfill, and simplify fulfillment. So that's something that we are doing. And as a matter of fact, one of the other challenges we've had is that we would run a backer kit, and then you would, those of you who did back projects would end up, paying for shipping. What Ben used to do is Ben would estimate how much something might cost for shipping. And then that money would sit there, and then we would do shipping. The challenge is shipping costs go up and down with the wind. It changes all the time. And sometimes we misunderstand shipping. If we ship overseas, there's VAT. There's a lot of things, and we find that we end up losing money on shipping a lot of times, which then cuts into the capital for actually shooting films. We've discovered a way around that, and that's through Easy Ship. And so we now incorporate Easy Ship into our store and our backer kits. And Easy Ship will tell you exactly how much it costs to ship something. So it will say, you have these 3 options. You can choose the low, medium, or high option. And then when you pay for the shipping, we print out the label, and it's a 1-to-1 thing. If it says it's going to cost you $7 to ship to New York, then we print out a $7 label, and away it goes. So it works a little better. Again, that's all about sort of Journey Quest and the fulfillment of Journey Quest. So I think there is a question that just came up around, is there plans for some more gamers? And the answer to that is, I'm actually going to jump into gamers now, and we'll sort of jump around. So the answer is yes, there is plans for the gamers. As a matter of fact, Ben is working with Gabriel, the director, on the next Gamers the series. So we should expect a campaign for this sometime this summer, with our intent is to shoot it sometime this autumn, right after Gen Con. So stay tuned for more plans as I solidify them. We're still working on the production team, and there's a few other items that we have to sort of get in place. But with every best intention, we do hope and plan to make that happen. So great question, and thank you, Funkin10 from YouTube. All right. Let's jump about to UDS, Ultimate Dungeon Showdown. So, Ultimate Dungeon Showdown. We have pretty much delivered all the items for all the people who have filled out their backer survey. If you filled out your backer survey, you should have received something. If you filled out a backer survey and you got something that was damaged, you should have filled out a claim form. And we should have already solved all of this, okay? So that's an important thing. If this is not the case, then you should reach out to support@zombieorpheus.com. Okay, and we can get this sorted. But we should have delivered most of these products for you. Now, there is a couple caveats. First thing is, there's about 50 of you out there in TV land. Is that what they call them now? Is TV land? Is that the interwebs? There's about 50 of you who have not filled out your survey. There's also a handful of you whose credit cards have bounced. And I know that, look, life is hard. If we need to refund because you can't, you did back it, but you can't afford to take it, please reach out to us. We are absolutely happy to refund your pledge for the product. If you can't get it shipped, you can't afford shipping. We don't want to. Folks, it's a lovely game and it's fun, but it's just a game. Do not lose your house or go without food or something essential for a cool product. Okay, let's not do that. All right, so that's UDS. Things about UDS. There are 3 outstanding items. 1, the RPG. 2, the maps. And 3, the shirts. The RPG is literally on my laptop. It is done. It is ready for me to hit send to all of you who backed it. Ben asked me to review it about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, and I have not reviewed it, but it is done. I told Ben that I would review it while on the airplane on Monday. I started to review it. I have not wrapped it up, but here's my promise to you. I will finish reviewing it. I suspect it's 100% glorious because what I've read so far is, but I do need to completely review it, and I will get this out by the end of business day on Friday, okay? As long as there's not a glaring problem, which if there is, I'll let you know. I don't suspect there is because we've already gone through multiple cycles. So that's the RPG. The maps. The maps are all done, and I believe Ben was gonna hit send. And I'll reach out to Ben to find out if Ben did hit send. If Ben did not hit send, then we will get those out because the maps are good. Final thing is the shirts. So the shirts need to go through Printful. I have the layout. Ben and I approved it. It looks great. I just need to upload all the items there, and that's just something that I've sort of put off because it sort of scares me, to be completely honest with you. Ben is a master of getting shirts out into Printful, but one of the things that happened was that we went through Printful with the Valdemar campaign, and they sort of screwed things up to the tune of $23,000 worth of problems. And so I've been juggling a lot, and I've been concerned that I would screw it up, and so I've sort of pushed it off. But folks, I will not push it off before I will get it to in your hands because that's the final thing that we need to do to close out this particular UDS campaign. So really close, really close. But that's where we are with that. UDS dice on the store. When? Merc, is the dice not on the store already? Are you serious? I'm a loser. Okay. After this Canon Crowdcast, Joseph, remind me that I need to put the dice on the store because we have the dice literally unlisted in the store. So let's get that on there. I thought it was. That's all on me. Oh, speaking of UDS. This is the Ultimate Dungeon coloring book. And it's just great. I mean, look at this. Don't you want to just color the shadow and add like shadows? Or I look at this. There's Nara right here. Don't you just want to sort of color this and put this on your wall? I know I do. Oh. It's the sword, right? So anyways, this is a glorious, glorious coloring book. It's it should be on our site. It should be on there for purchase. And also, if you or one of your loved ones or friends is a crocheter, there is a wonderful, wonderful set of crochet patterns for our JQ characters and Chibi-chan. Check it out. It's really, really, really cool. It's one of the best looking, what do you call it? Not blueprints, patterns. Best looking patterns I've seen. They're really professionally done, really quality work. So check it out on the site. All right, next. Who does he wear pants you can steal, and what's the role modifier? Hopefully you're not talking about me. Yeah, so Gamers the series, right? So there is more to come. One of the things that we are working through right now with Gamers the series is production team. We need to have a producer to help drive some of the stuff forward, but there's a script in place. There is a team ready to shoot it and hankering. And as a matter of fact, I don't think Gabe is probably watching, but just between you and I, it was 18 months ago that Gabe came to me and said, in fact, it was, I had just landed at Gen Con, not this previous one, so 18 months ago, I landed at Gen Con and I was on the phone at the airport with Gabe, and Gabe's like, Rennie, when can we do the Kickstarter for Gamers of Series? And my answer was, well, we have to actually get some of these other Kickstarters out first. So now that we got the UDS done, now that JQ is really, really close, yeah, we're gonna be driving forward with that. Which Ben, referring to which Ben? Oh, Ben Dobbins. My apologies. That was from Fuddier. Hi, on Twitch. Thanks for watching on Twitch. But yeah, that's Ben Dobbins, who's been working with Gabe. Yeah, so here's the thing, folks. How is Ben doing? I'm sure you're wondering. Ben's doing really, really well. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. I talk to Ben at least once a week. We work on stuff together on the side. Ben is incredibly grateful for not being on this side of the chair. You know, right here. Ben is doing so many really cool things in their own world, and I have never seen Ben happier. So listen, kudos to Ben. And it's sort of glorious to be able to, I talk to Ben all the time on Discord. So we'll get on Discord and it's just, Ben's happy and healthy. Then that's what more can you want from somebody you care about. All right, next one. Will the new gamers give us some form of resolution on the Shadow having kidnapped Cass and the rest of the party? I don't know. To be frank with you, I have not read the script, so I do not know. So I'm going to only speculate, because literally I have zero clue on what's in this script. I'm going to speculate that the answer is no, and that will be maybe more of a different feature set, a feature that might be in the works. So we'll just have to see, okay? I know that we're all sort of anxious about getting more gamers, 100%. All right, let's move on. We talked about gamers, DUS. Strowlers. All right, some of you are huge Strowlers fans. We have an emoji episode that we still need to release. And so Ben and I are talking about what we're going to be doing next. And I told Ben that I want to see some more Strowlers. The challenge at this exact juncture is that I don't have a blank check to write for every one of our projects. You know, you just mentioned you want to see more gamers, right? We have Gamers of the Series, we have Strowlers, we have Journey Quest, right? We have all these cool projects, and I can't fund all of them all at the same time. Or can I? So one of the things that I really want to see us do is go back to when it all felt a little easier. And there's never really easy, but you know, back in the wonder years, back in our college days, right? We were able to just grab a camcorder, shoot some stuff, you know, buy a bunch of beef jerky, order some teriyaki, and just have some fun. Throw together a script over a weekend, shoot a few things, and laugh, and have a good time as friends. That's great. It comes out with fun quality. Sometimes though, you know, you aim for a higher level of visual quality, and when you do so, it does take more time. You have to think about lighting, composition, color, set. You know, there's a lot of things that you have to invest in. And so that costs money. And so when you want to raise maybe the visual quality, you put more money into that. But with more money comes more responsibility and more pressure. And it's always true. The more money you have, the more pressure there is to try and use it effectively. And there is this sort of this period where although you have a lot of money, maybe it's still very, very hard to spend it in, it's still thin. It's still not like you have a lot of extra money just floating around. It's like every little bit still costs a lot of money, and so there's a challenge with that. My point around this is that when you are responsible for so much, it becomes stressful. And as filmmakers, we also want to have fun. So one of the things I want to do is to sort of roll back and just give creators some funding to do something fun. And so one of the things I told Ben was, hey, if I give you X amount of manageable amount of money, can you put something small and fun together? And Ben says, I would love to do that. Be very agile, if you will, agile about filmmaking. And so I've said, here you go. Here's some funds for you. And so Ben's going to drive forward with putting together some more Stowers. That's pretty exciting. So Ben will be looking to driving toward a really small Kickstarter for those of you who want to support a Stowers episode. And the goal is to do really small, very lightweight stories within the Stowers universe. So that's one of the things we're going to be doing this year. Very exciting. The next thing is Demon Hunters. Demon Hunters. My voice almost cracked when I said that. So let's see here. Within Demon Hunters, we're doing the same thing. I've gotten Don Early sort of excited about this idea where we're going to be doing a Demon Hunters anthology of a series of Demon Hunters stories put together in different times, different frameworks, to tell new stories within Demon Hunters world. In addition, we're going to have 3 new Demon Hunters modules coming out in the next few months. Don and I have been working together on this, and so there are at least three new ones that we're going to be releasing in a few months. We should have them ready by Gen Con, if not before. So that's Demon Hunters. So expect new shows and new modules. Next, Gen Con. Gen Con! So this year we've decided we're not going to be going to Gen Con. Kidding. Of course we're going to Gen Con. Gen Con loves us. We bring a lot to it with Gamers Live. We also run their main stage. The Zoe Tech crew runs their cameras and runs all their live main stage shows. So they want us there for that. So that's great. Chris is working with Gen Con right now to sort of nail down that contract. We're going to definitely have more Gamers Live. We're going to have Demon Hunters content there. Demon Hunters games, hopefully with the new modules. And we will have some UDS going on there too. Maybe we'll have a UDS RPG event going on. We'll see, but we'll be at Gen Con. So there'll be more to tell you about that. Pay attention to the event catalog, and I will be letting people know what events will be listed in a bit. That's Gen Con. Oh, Merc, yes. So one of the other things I want to do, we were talking about is there's so much great Demon Hunters content done by the GMs that I would love to put together a fanzine of modules of content for Demon Hunters, just sort of an e-zine, if you will. It doesn't have to be beautiful. We're all hankering for more cool content, and we're all about the creator here. So yeah, that's one of our intents, is to put together an e-zine. So these first 3 modules, of course, is what I'm working with Dawn on. We're putting together a template for modules that we can just reuse. So as content comes in, if you're really excited about content, we can put it into that format and then release more modules that way. So that's very, very exciting. Next. Oh, yeah. I've been working with a lovely creator. Her name is Michelle, and you know what? Hold on a sec. Let me make sure that I have the permission to talk about that. So I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna check on something really quick. Let's talk about the store. So we've been working hard. The website team, Merck. By the way, thank you for really getting that website working and bearing with me as I'm trying to make things work as well, make it prettier up. But I've been getting feedback from different people around problems with authentication, logging in, access. I think we've solved that. Thank you very much for sending email, letting us know. We've gotten the password reset form updated. We have the store up and running. The store has Easy Ship integrated so that when you go to purchase something, you will see your 3 shipping options. With the store, I'm adding lots of new items. And so there are items that we have in the warehouse that are not online. And we are also adding a lot of print-on-demand items, cool logos on shirts and mugs and mouse pads. But if there's something that you would like to see in our store, please let us know. We have a whole bunch of pins. So we have a bunch of the perf hat pins. We have the dead gentle pin out with the skull, and it's glow in the dark now. So it's really, really cool. So it's the black skull with white outline, and then it glows in the dark at night. So that's pretty exciting. But we're going to be having a whole series of new pins coming out for those of you who love to collect pins. Anybody out here love to collect pins? I'd like to know if you are and what you're interested in, because we are interested in making cool things for our fans. So let us know. We also need to reprint a bunch of stuff. There's some modules we need to reprint, as well as some videos that have been out of print for a while. Also with the store, we are going to make all of the UDS dice live, right, Merck? Right? Didn't I just say that? And so let's pivot, because it's all sort of tied into the store, but let's pivot with Valdemar. So Zoe has been working with Ben and Larry and Mercedes Lackey. We've been working on a Kickstarter campaign for Mercedes for their Valdemar property. And Ben had a whole bunch of really cool merch that they had manufactured. One of the things that Ben has learned through this process is how to make life simple for fulfillment. In the past, we would have all these different items you could purchase, such as you could buy a DVD and 4 minis and a book and a pin and a tattoo, and then we'd have to pick each one of these things, and it took a lot of time, and that time costs money. It's not an effective way of being able to deliver a product. Also, when they shake around in a bag, they get broken. So Ben ended up figuring out how to work with the manufacturer to put everything into a single box and have it all secure. So with the Valdemar campaign, it's now wrapped up, and we have a bunch of additional Valdemar merchandise that Zoe now can sell at the store. So you're going to see on our store, for those of you who love the Valdemar world, we're going to be placing a bunch of this merchandise online for you to be able to purchase. And then Ben's also going to be working on another campaign with Larry and Misty shortly. So stay tuned for that. That's okay. So that's the store, adding that into the store. Once we get the Journey Quest movie in place and the DVDs manufactured, we'll put all the remaining merchandise out there on the store for you to purchase as well. Let me see, what else? What other questions? Would you ever consider coming to a UK con? I would love to come to a UK con. Yeah, absolutely. I think, let's have a conversation around that. Please email me or reach out on our Discord. Come talk to me on the Discord server. We'd love to figure out what that could look like. Speaking of that, so I have been working with a few different members of the community out there who have organized screenings of the show. I had an individual at their university want to arrange a screening of The Gamers for a bunch of people. And so, and then I have another individual who's been reached out to me and is organizing a actual showing of The Gamers at a local theater, and using that as an opportunity to share with a bunch of people. So these are things that we can arrange. Getting rights, the cost is very, very, I would say it's reasonable. It's pretty low because we want to be able to show people the movie. And by you being able to charge for tickets, you have an opportunity to get people in there, and it's a win-win thing. So please talk to me about that. It's pretty exciting to be able to get this out there. One more thing. Well, not one more, but one more thing around that. Zoe Con. Are you interested in another Zoe Con? Do you think we should do one? I was playing around with this idea a couple weeks ago. I was thinking, we should really run one. It takes about 6 to 8 months to really organize and get one going. But I would love to hear back from you if you really want a Zoe Con. In fact, if you can get other people sort of excited about that, and we can get a good, 100 to 200 people interested in a Zoe Con, then I think we can make that work. Just like it has before, we'd sell tickets, we would have events, we'd have people show up to be able to support that. So please, let me know if you're interested in a Zoe Con. This would be Zoe Con 3 or 4? Yeah, it's Zoe Con 4. So we can totally do that. I think during COVID, we ran a virtual Zoe Con, right? Great. Questions, Merck has questions around Red Card and other Kickstarter-only items, manufacturing and dates. Yeah, so if you're talking specifically the Red Cards for Journey Quest, so all of those, so the actual merchandise items will all be manufactured or many are in the process of being manufactured. We want them all to arrive right around the same 4 to 6 week period, right before we ship it out. So we have things aligned up. Lots of things are aligned. We're just sort of waiting to sort of pull the trigger on all of it so that they all sort of land at the same time. An example is it takes between, once we get the movie in place, it takes a couple of weeks, like 80 hours for our masterer to get it perfect for Blu-ray, because Blu-ray takes a lot of effort. DVDs are pretty easy, but Blu-rays are a challenge. And with that, we have to also get the credits in and all that. But once we get that ready, then we have to ship it out to the manufacturer. And so shipping out to manufacturer, that takes about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the manufacturer. So, we plan around a 6-week lead time from when we get the movie to when it's actually back in our hands to ship out. So within that period, we also have these miniatures that we have to manufacture. We have shirts and a bunch of other items that we've sold. There's prints. I have to go back and look on the list, but there's like 25 different items that we have to manufacture or put together. Or the Orcish calendar, as an example. We got to. Ben just told me. I just asked Ben the other day, "What about the Orcish calendar, Ben?" And Ben goes, "Man, Rennie, I don't want to do it, but I'll totally work on that one, because it's a lot of like small little detailed work. It's not an easy update." But we are going to release the Orcish calendar again for 2025, right? So we'll get that into your hands for 2025. Red card, same thing. We want to make sure that that's available for you, the red card. Unless there seems like there's a reason to get it sooner, and if you have a really compelling reason that you think that I should get you a red card sooner because of something coming up, please let me know. Otherwise, we plan on releasing them all about the same time. So, but again, if there is a really good reason why you think something's better a little sooner, and it's within my power, then I can probably make that happen. So please contact me. Will JQ4 be sent for streaming early like 3.5 was before the DVD was sent out? That's Rex Grammar. That is a hard question that I don't have an answer to. You know, my instinct is to make sure that you just have it so you can watch it, because people don't want to wait anymore, right? Like, I would love to just get it to you so you can all watch it, but I want to see what the community says. Like, if all of you are like, no, just give us the streaming, we want to watch it now, then great, we'll totally make that happen. Okay, so let's hear back from the community on that one. Okay. Next one. From Keen456. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. Oh, I knew it. Keen's question was, is there any chance of a future Humans and Households episode? Why, yes. As a matter of fact, Tony Becerra dropped a script into my lap 4 years ago and said, Rennie, let's get this done. But with a more, deeper, more handsome voice than mine. That's, Tony, let me stab you. What he says. So the answer is I want to see a Humans and Households episode. I think the question around a Humans and Households episode is what does the budget look like and how hard is it to get done? So here's the thing. I'm at a place right now where I need to be able to get you cool content quicker, right? And so that's why I have the Demon Hunters anthology idea. That's why I have the Strowlers. That's why we're doing Gamers the series, because they're already in place. There's already a person driving it forward. They just need some funds. And Gamers the series, pretty easy to fund. Pretty straightforward to fund, and then these other projects, pretty straightforward to fund. But things that are a little larger, Humans and Households has a similar budget to Gamers the series in some capacity, and I think we should do it for a smaller budget because I think we can get it out faster. But that's really the challenge, is unless we can scale down the budget a little bit, it becomes more challenging to be able to make it faster, because we can only run so many Kickstarters at the same time for crowdfunding. Now, if you know somebody who really wants to write a large check to support independent film and nerd films, I'm here for you. I'm totally here for you, and I think we all know somebody like that, right? Do we? I don't know. But please, if you are in a place where you know somebody who's really, really excited about just being involved in filmmaking, who has really deep pockets, then let me talk to them and we can see about partnering. Oh, yes. So Merc likes to ask the hard questions. There's something called the best laid plans, yada, yada, yada. So late last year or mid last year, I had this wonderful idea, last year, the year before that, this wonderful idea of putting out a 20th anniversary version of the Gamers. Because, the Gamers has been out now for 20 years. And that particular version would include people talking about why the Gamers was great and how it impacted their lives. And we actually have recorded footage of people talking like that. I didn't put it together before the end of the 20th anniversary of the Gamers, which was November, was from November of 2022 to 2023 was sort of the 20th anniversary. But we actually we worked with a great sculptor to create a beautiful miniatures model of the gamers, of the four gamers sort of sitting on that tree stump, you know, the one from the DVD cover. So we have this great miniature set up, and the goal, my intention, is to sort of reprint the Gamers original movie with a bunch of these extras that, you know, with people talking about the gamers and some BTS and some interviews with the creators 20 years later, some retrospectives. So my goal is to put that together. I'm juggling a lot. I would like to see that. If I can get somebody else to help produce that, that would be lovely. But yeah, let's cross our fingers that this year we can actually come out with a 20-year anniversary version of it, even though it's now the 21st year, because, you know, I guess we could call it the 21st anniversary version. But what do you think, Merck? Should we call it the 21st anniversary version coming out? I don't know. I'll let you let the audience decide what's sillier. Going back, Red asked, aside from Gamers of Series, what are the upcoming tentpole items? Well, we do have Journey Quest coming out, and that's, I mean, other than our anthology for Demon Hunters, I guess the question is, you know, what would we here at Zoe call our tentpoles? And if we're talking about Gamers and Journey Quest, because those are our two largest, most highly funded projects, those are sort of our largest tentpoles, with Stowers being sort of the third in that area. Then we are working toward Stowers, and we're going to wrap up JQ4. The question I think you're going to ask is, well, what is the deal with JQ5? Are we going to have a JQ5? The answer to that is, let's get JQ4 out first. There's a lot of questions around how we will get JQ5 into your hands. I don't have an answer just yet. To be frank, COVID really beat us up. And I know you know that, but it really beat us up, and we're just now on the far end of that, where we're now at a place where I can find some funds to make new stuff, as opposed to just trying to dig our way out of the hole that was sort of dug. So we are now at a place where we are looking at these and figuring out what we can do next. So I think we're gonna have to just wait and say I don't have the right answer to that, but please keep on asking, and I will give you a very frank and honest response. I'll give you the best response I can give you, okay? All right. Oh, a suggestion from Discord. Gamers Drinking Age Anniversary Edition. Huh. That's a good one. I like that one. Let's keep that on the list there. Mods on Discord, please keep that to my forefront. In fact, let's create a section where we can just have these ideas here so they stay up at the front, because I'm going to forget about that because it's really smart, but I don't want to. It's really smart. I like it. All right. Is it better to support Zoe through the website or through the Patreon? All right. So I think the better question, the way I want to answer it is this. I would prefer that you support through our website instead of Patreon. I would prefer that. If I had everybody over on the website, it would be easier for us to manage and to communicate with. It just would be easier. But the reality is, you're on Patreon and you are probably there because it's easier and you like the platform, and I want to support you supporting other creators as well. So I really struggled. We had a lot of internal discussion around telling people they should move. We went from Patreon, we went to Gumroad, and eventually we moved back to our on-premises WooCommerce support. Man, I'm sorry, we've asked you to move a lot, and it's just not cool. And it just sort of jerks people around, and I don't think it's a stable way to really support. And in fact, when we moved from one platform to another, we lose people. So if you want to move, please, I'd love to have you over at the website, but I'm not going to make anybody do anything. We're just thankful that you support us. Speaking of supporting, I'm looking at better ways to support our subscribers. And there's a lot of ideas, and I'm open to some ideas, but like, we give you access to some content, and we're working with Nodwick for the next series. I love those cartoons, but my daughter. So my daughter's 12. My youngest is 12, and she follows this YouTuber who does what's his name? He's like a scientist guy who builds really cool contraptions and does experiments. Rober. Mark Rober, is that his name? I think it's Rober. So she does these, she has this like monthly box for like $25, and it comes in, and then she builds this cool thing, right? And I thought, man, that's a great subscription. It's a great subscription because it's predictable. Mark knows exactly what to target to people, and somebody gets a really cool thing. I'm really liking the idea of a subscription for cool things. One of the things I have is a Zoe grab bag online, which is where you can just pay $25 and we grab a bunch of cool stuff and ship it to you. It helps us, you get some cool stuff, and that's great. But I would love the idea of building more cool merch so that we could do that monthly, get a cool thing. Is that something you're interested in? Like, we could have cool modules, or we could have, pin collections. We could have, dice collectibles. I don't know. Like, you tell me, what are really cool things that would be interesting to you? Or is it, do I ask great writers to write little novellas, short stories that you can consume that way? Maybe I hire, Brian Lewis to read them. These are all ideas that we can sort of make happen. But I would love to hear you if that's of interest, because in the end, like, I love the fact that you're subscribing and that we're giving some stuff, but I do feel like over the last year, 18 months now, I think our value offering needs to improve. I really do. And that's why I want to invest so much in like the anthology for Demon Hunters, to really sort of bolster up some of these other brands, these other properties, these really cool story worlds. Because I think they're floundering right now, and they really are cool worlds that should get more people involved. And also I want to get these creators involved in creating cool things. And so, I think the goal is if we can give you really neat things, then we can get capital to create new cool things that are entertaining. So we can have both movies as well as really cool items, right? And I think they both sort of go hand in hand, especially since we're gamers. So that's what I'm sort of trying to figure out, and I'm really curious if that would resonate with you as well. So please let me know. All right. Remove the paywall on the Journey Quest 4 BTS Kickstarter content on the website. I'm not sure what that means. Is it that there's a bunch of stuff that you could, are you saying like, we made a bunch of items available on the Kickstarter or the backer kit, and but they're only available to the Kickstarters? Is that what you mean? And to make them available for everybody else? Is that what you're saying? If so, I am very happy to make that available, 100%. But please let me know if that's what you actually mean. And Merc, if just write yes in here, Merc, if that's what they actually mean, because 100%, I will totally do that. Yeah, great. Is there any word on Golden Guns? No. I wish there was word on Golden Guns. You know what? Let me reach out and let me ask. I believe what I heard last was still finessing, and that's my understanding of it. And so, sorry, this is I'm taking a look at something. So there's still finessing, but let me reach out on this one, and I'll find out about golden guns. Apparently. Okay, so with the golden guns, there was a delay. There was a delay in editing, and there was a delay. Sometimes life gets in the way. And so that's what delayed Golden Guns. There was just delay in the editing. It's 2 of 8 of the episodes are complete, and I believe that they're now working on it again. That's what I had heard last, but I can still follow up more to see if I can, say, hey, listen, let's get it in. People are asking. And I think, you know what? Here's the thing. When people ask, it's sort of sometimes people feel weirdly pressured, and other times people just feel excited because, fans are really excited about it. It just depends on how you ask, right? It's you know what? It's a little bit like this. So it's my job in the house to load the dishwasher, and I don't mind doing it on my own time. Like, so I'll go at the end of the night after I put my kids down, and I'll go play World of Warcraft. Right? So I'll go play World of Warcraft, and then it'll be like 1 in the morning, and then I'll be about to go to bed, and I realize I haven't put the dishes away. And so I'm like, oh, you know what? I really need to put the dishes in the dishwasher, keep the sink clean, so that when my wife Amy gets up, she sees, the lovely clean kitchen, right? That's my positive motivation, right? So I see that need, and I do it because it'll make somebody happy. And then there's the other side where I'm sitting there watching TV, and my wife comes in and says, hey, can you clean out the kitchen and put the dishes away? And then I'm feeling like, just ask me, and it feels weird and pressured, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's my agreed upon responsibility, but I would rather do it on my terms. I feel like Golden Guns is like, or not Golden Guns, but sometimes like people have a project and they really want to enjoy doing it. How can we encourage somebody to tell them that we're really excited and we can't wait for it, so that they get excited about doing it, as opposed to like, hey, when is it going to be done? That feels like negative pressure, right? So, but find a way to positively pressure our editors, and maybe we can, or positively encourage, and maybe that will help, or I can, or something. It's a thought. All right, next. Keen456, maybe some kinds of shorts. A Dead Gentleman Presents, Pantheistic Cleric, Conversation with My Inner... Yes, right. You know what? I love these shorts ideas, and I will tell you, I think with age, what ends up happening is that we put more pressure on ourselves to do things really well instead of just doing things, right? Like the DG team, like everybody here at Zoe is so funny. I wish I was funny, but man, when I'm around Christian and Brian and James and Chris and and everybody, they're just so funny, right? I think this is a great idea, a series of shorts. That's all part of my anthology idea, right? I have a X amount of funds, and I tell my friends, tons of the creators, here you go. I want you to spend a weekend doing something cool. Just record it, make it fun, and just put something together. People want to see it. I think that content creation activity needs to be unfettered by pressure. So that's the goal this year. So I do have some funds, and I'm going to be encouraging people for that. So thank you Keen456 for that. 100%, I love it. Those types of shorts are really good. By the way, if we could master the TikTok thing, right, and get people really excited in that way, we could just get more views. And we need more views. The other thing around that, by the way, is I want to expand and make sure that our content doesn't age out. I'm 1.5 million years old, right? So, but I want us to create content that my 18-year-old daughter, she's 18 or she's 19? Is Waverly 19? She's born in 2005, and this is 2023, right? 2024. Oh yeah, she's 19 years old. old. Wow. So yeah, like my 19-year-old daughter and her friends, I want to create content that they like too, right? And there's a lot of good stuff like that. So I think we need to find that place. Lumiere says more streaming shows. Return of the Shattered Compass with YouTube co-stream. Yeah, you know what? More streaming shows need to happen. We do need to figure that out. Folks, did you know we do a lot of streaming shows? And we do streaming shows. I think we need to let you know when that's happening. So let's stay tuned. Please go on our website. We're going to get better at posting when new stuff happens. I will be better at sending out newsletters, or maybe we can hire a marketing intern. What do you think? Anybody want to be my marketing intern? To do that, make sure people are out there. That'd be great. Oh yeah, hey, did you know, speaking of Shattered Compass, so sitting right here at this chair, usually every other Wednesday, is our beloved Bryce Bebop, who plays a character on Peter Ackeson's Actoroki on Gen Con TV. That's right. We are here in the Chaldea Studios, Peter Ackeson's Chaldea Studios, and we run, of course, we do this here. We run the technology for them, and one of the shows on Gen Con TV is a series called Actoroki, where we play D&D, and then it gets turned into movies. So Bryce sits here, I sit there. So and then Lexi the First sits over here, our beloved Lexi. So yeah, we sit here and we do D&D every couple weeks, and it's really funny. Bryce is hysterical. You might already know this, but in case you didn't, Bryce is a laugh a minute. So yeah, you gotta check him out. Anything else? Is there anything else? Let me take a look. Let me see else. Let me see. In case you're wondering what I'm looking at here, there is this spreadsheet, and I just want to say thank you to Merck and Lumiere for monitoring YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. I am not calling it X, just so you know. I absolutely, positively refuse to call it X. So those 4 channels plus Vimeo, those are two lovely Lumiere and Merck are monitoring all those chat channels and popping into the thread questions that are coming in. So I'm actually looking at a spreadsheet. The technology is awesome. So that's great. And then Joseph back here. So folks, running the tech deck is our beloved Joseph. Joseph, you can't really see him, I don't think, but Joseph is also transcribing these questions and putting them on the screen really fast. All right, the next question from Keen. Hey Keen, thank you for watching and for participating on Twitch and popping this in here. I really appreciate your presence here. The question from Keen, any deep cuts coming back like Rude Mechanical? Oh man. You know, so 4 years ago, it was before COVID, we had started a Zoe Podcasts thing. And one of the programs was a Rude Mechanical. And it sort of fell through because one of our stars we lost in touch with. And it's been difficult to get in touch with them. And so the question is, can we go back to Rude Mechanical? I think we could. That was one of those projects that was, what's the word for it? It was a labor of love. I remember when Ben first started doing it over in the International District in their makerspace there. And Ben just loved Rude Mechanical, was so proud of it. And that's the example of where when you're really agile and you do something for love and not trying to just drive, managing and micromanaging the level of quality. When I talk about quality, visual quality and getting all the right people and all the right sound and all the right everything, and then planning and planning and planning. When you just release that and you just create a thing with the camera, magic can happen. And so that's really what I want to see happen, is I want us to reinvigorate our creators and let them know that we just want you to have some fun and create some cool things, you know. Take a break, take a weekend or two and create some cool things. So let me investigate. Rude Mechanical was not on my radar at all, to be honest with you, but it was such a great little series, and that's a really great deep cut. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm gonna go look into that. That's really good. I really like that too. So thank you. All right. As for Liberty Cabbage, so there's a question. Lumiere brings up a question. I know it's not specifically Zoe, but Liberty Cabbage news, maybe. I honestly do not have any news. I've been in touch with Matt Vansel on a couple other items, but I will ask Matt specifically, and I'll either have something for you in an email blast, or I'll have something for you on my next Canon Crowdcast, right? So maybe we should do this in April, right? Like every month is what we should be doing. So I plan on doing this next month as well. Let me just apologize, because you know when our last Canon Crowdcast was? It was last March. It was a year ago. I'm utterly ashamed. I do say thank you for your patience, as I've been, you know, I'm sort of a pseudo lone wolf. I mean, I do have help from, you know, Mark and Merck and Lumiere and Alien Knitter and Joseph and all these other people who I'm not actually mentioning because I'm forgetting, and it's really bad. I'm sorry, but we really are. We're still trying to claw our ways out a little bit. So thank you for your patience as we're doing this. All right, what else? What else? Let's take a look. All right. Let me see, while more questions are coming in. Let's see, we've talked about Valdemar, the store. Oh, the website. So those of you who are not actively involved on our Discord server, get on there, right? That's where our community sort of thrives. The website's where you can watch all of our videos. If you're wondering, by the way, those of you who are out there who are either purchasing on Vimeo, on VHX, or buying the DVDs from us, thank you. I can't tell you how thankful we are. On the flip side, you can also view a bunch of our other content on our website. Everything is on there, including like Gamers Live, Rude Mechanical, everything is on there. And thank you to Merck for organizing and making that, putting that on there. That's a lot of effort, a labor of love, so deeply hurts. Is that like a heart? Is that a heart? I don't know, it hurts when I do this because my shoulder is out. Ugh. All right. Store hearts. Let's take a look. Oh, yes. Merck, thank you. Oh, actually, there's a couple of things. So, I told you in the email blast that you will be receiving, those of you who watch this will get a discount code. So there's a couple of things. I'm going to give you a discount code in a minute. Joseph will put it up in a minute. You haven't put it up yet, right? No. All right. Not yet. First thing is, if you order stuff on our site, folks, you get a free Mythica DVD. You just pay for shipping and handling. I think it's $5 for that Mythica DVD, okay? $5 for handling, which essentially goes for the boxing and the labor of putting it into the mailer. If you don't order anything else, you can get that, and it's like $5 plus, some shipping and handling or something like that. So anyways, it's free. So it just shows up. You don't have to take it, by the way, or you can, and you can have multiple copies if you want. That's fine, please. We have a bunch of them, and they're there. Speaking of a bunch of them, we are also, see this right here, folks? For those of you who are there, today's special offer, we're trying to make room for other merchandise. We have a lot, unbelievable amount of merchandise that's moved into here. Okay, I have many of these extras. We have extras, and this soft cover Fartherall companion goes. It retails for $50. Okay, I am going to offer it to you. Right, if you want to, for this month only. How much, Joseph? $20. $20 for this. It's killer deal. It's really killer. I feel like a huckster here, but really, seriously, we just have many copies, and we do need to move them. Sort of funny. I came in there, and we have this pallet, and the pallet has 46 boxes. I think that's right. 36 boxes, and each box has 9 copies in them. Like, we have a large amount of boxes there of this Fartherall companion, and I'd like to make some more space so we can bring in other cool merchandise, which we are ordering. And so please, $20. I'm going to make a change to the website right after this thing. So literally, I'm going to get on the website. I'm going to change the price, and you'll be able to order it here. But speaking of that, the discount code, folks, you can use this discount code for this month, right? Wait, is it through this month? How long does it go through? Let me take a look. You'd think I would know this. When does it expire? Expires, March 31st. So this discount code is being shown on the screen as you see. It's 2403, lowercase c, 25. 25% off the entire purchase except for print on demand. So, yeah, we just wanted to offer that to you. I'm going to try and do like new offers every month, just cool new things, just to, it's because there's lots of cool stuff that's available. We have bunches of little things, little products, and you should, maybe you're waiting and now like you want it. So there you go. I think, is there anything else here? No, I think that's it. Let me see if there's any other questions. Did Merc ask any other questions? Let's see. I see no more questions. So I'm going to give you just one more minute to pop your last minute questions into the chat, and I'm going to wrap this up. So you have asked in the past, how can you support Zoe? Well, certainly, you can support it by just watching our stuff on YouTube. That always helps. More views, the better. Share on socials. Share cool things that you enjoy. Remind people about the gamers. Remind them about Journey Quest. Remind them. And run games. Run games and try out our modules. I have a question for you. Are you interested in a 5th edition version of our modules? Would that be cool? Would that be fun? Let me know. I'm really curious. Oh, Marlik, thank you. How am I doing? Somebody, oh, you make me cry a little bit. How am I doing? Okay, so that's I'm doing really well. Last year with the ending of TFN, there was a lot, folks, trying to recover Zoe and bring it to this point was just a lot. It was really difficult because I had to move stuff forward and take care of things, and sometimes it was very emotionally trying. There was this property that TFN helped to support for a Kickstarter that I shall not name them, but it's a very, very famous comic book, that we had to sort of resolve to ship out and fulfill. And that was very, very, very painful and costly and difficult. And it really hurt a few of, not me, but it hurt a few people here at this company. And it was a rough year. In July, I moved to California. I moved down to California specifically because we've been talking about it for a while. Two major reasons. My eldest daughter, Waverly, she was going to go to Chapman University. She's studying film there at the Dodge Film School, and very, very exciting. And so she was going to go down there. And then my son's a water polo player, and Southern California is where all the top water polo players in high school reside. So. Not all of them, but that's just one of the most competitive areas. So we moved down to Southern California in July, and it's been a glorious time. I've been to Disneyland like 58 times since I've moved down there because I love Disneyland, and I have an annual pass, so that's good. I travel up here every couple of weeks, do karaoke. And I got to say, I'm really blessed. I'm blessed by your love. I mean, that question just means a lot to me. Zoe keeps on plugging away, and we have some really cool things to do this year. I'm thankful for all the creators who came before me to make all this stuff, and I'm thankful that people let me play in their playground. My job, folks, look, I'm not a Ben Dobbins who's a genius and brilliant and is a community organizer and brilliant, creator writer. I'm not a Matt Vansel who is a brilliant, brilliant writer and friend and father. I'm not any of these, amazing creators. I'm a person who came in that Ben found, and I've done some editing, I've done some producing, I've done some directing, I've done some writing, I've done a little bit of things, but I'm not these other people that you love, right? My job here is to just encourage creators to do really cool things and get them excited and to empower them to bring the best to you. That's my job, right? And that's what I feel like I bring to this table. So I'm thankful that you're entrusting this to me and that you are still following along. This year is going to be a year of change and some really cool things. And I'm so genuinely excited about that. We are rocking it here in the studio. We've moved all of the inventory here, and we are shipping stuff, and we have new merchandise on place. I'm working with Don on cool modules. We have new editors. We have these anthologies we're working on. Journey Quest is almost done. We're going to do a lot of cool new things this year. I'm excited about that, but I do need help. And be honest with you, I need to figure out how we can generate more capital so that we can do bigger tentpoles, so that we can do things that are awesome and fun, and where a bunch of our actors here, they have lives, and I need to find ways to help them feeling like they want to be part of it, and sometimes it takes funds or a really cool project, which sometimes takes funds. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. But you're here with me, and that's what I really deeply appreciate. So, okay. Lumiere says, Lumiere has something. Savage Worlds editions of everything. Pay James to make a Savage Worlds Adventure Edition Metaverse setting book. Yes, that's great. Well, James, you come to me and tell me how much that would take, and let's see, maybe we can even crowdfund that. Let's see how many people want that version. I do. I love that idea. I love Savage Worlds. I just love Savage Worlds. In a daze. Is that in a daze or in a daze? In a daze. It sounds better when I do it with an accent, doesn't it? In a daze. 5e is my preferred for sure. If it wasn't 5th edition, it was always 3.5 for me, but I'm all in for 5th. Great. You know what? I actually really like 5th, 3.5. I played a lot of 3.5, but I like 5th because 5th is so accessible. It's not that 3.5 was not, and last night I was playing 3.5. I love 3.5. It's sort of just one of my favorites, but I think there's a reason why D&D exploded so, and it's because of 5th. It's because 5th, not only because of marketing, but 5th is just a very accessible system. I don't know how well it scales beyond like 5th or 6th or 7th level. I don't really know because I've never gone beyond that in the game. But to be honest with you, I think 3.5 starts to bog down after about level 10 anyway. So, but I would like to see a 5th edition of that as well. So maybe we can do multiple versions. I think that'd be great, right? Next one from Sukumaija. This is probably a silly question or not the right kind of question, but any more Void Jumper stuff in the future? No, that's a great question. So we partner with the Void Jumpers team, right? I mean, we partner with them. We're all sort of part of this. I have no creative involvement other than we partner. But if you want more Void Jumpers, I'll tell them. Like let's. I think that we like to hear that type of stuff, right? As creators, we like to hear that people want more. So I'm happy to totally get that out to Lisa and find out. Suede Akaroki win. First thing, I don't know what is Suede. Am I really old? Is this bad? Do I need to Google that? Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe I should even look this up.
When is that?
Wait. That's Savage Worlds, right? Actoroki. That's what you're talking about, right? Because the very first thing that came up to me was Suede Cannabis Dispensary. I don't think you're talking about that, right, Merc? Yeah, no, I don't think you're talking about that. So, Savage Worlds, right? That's actually a good question. Actoroki is Peter Atkinson's thing, not mine. And so I think Peter was trying to tap into the 5th edition, the 5e crowd with that. So, but hey, always worth the question, asking, right? All right, let's go to next one's sketch song QA question. What is the best way to propose things to Rennie for projects, and what should prospective creators have done ahead of time to bring it to the table? Again, what's the question? What is the best way to propose things to Rennie for projects, and what should prospective creators have done ahead of time to bring it to the table? Oh, that is a great question. All right, so make it easy for me. That's the easy one, right? Make it easy for me. So, if you come to me and you say, hey, I have the idea for X, hey, Rennie, I have this idea where people dress up in werewolf costumes, and then we put a bag of Oreos in front of each one of them, and then the first one to finish all of the Oreos wins. It's an interesting idea, and I made this up, of course. But, that pitch, although compelling, those types of pitches, I do get a lot of those. Now, if you came to me and you said, hey, Rennie, I have this werewolf eating Oreos competition, and it stars Will Wheaton, and Will is all in, and I also have Oreos as a sponsor, and they're ready and willing to do this. I have a producer, I have a writer, and each one of the werewolves actually has a character. And the reason why people want to watch this is because of the characters. It's not just them eating the Oreos, but it's about the dynamics between the characters, and here's the script. See, like, so one is an idea and one is sort of a fleshed out, how are you going to execute it? And I don't need to hire people because you've already found commitments. I'm happy to get the contracts in, right? But you've already found sponsors. You've made my life easier, right? Or if you said, hey, Rennie, I have this idea and here's $50,000, again, I'm happy to entertain that, really, totally. I'm always open to new ideas. Please note, I'm always open to new ideas. The challenge is, before you do so, you need to make sure that you protect yourself, right? Like if you write a script, I can't accept unsolicited scripts from you. I can't, right? If you write a script, however, and you say this is under the SKULA, and I'm going to give it to you, Rennie, right? Then I have permission to start doing things with it. It's just there's this dynamic that's a challenge. So, but if you have a complete project and it's complete and it's done, and you want me to have it, if you want it to be under Zoe, or you want me to help produce a part of it or do something like that, and you have a lot of work already around it, then yeah, let's have a conversation. Because it makes my life easier, right? If you already have a finished thing that people are enjoying, I'd love to pull it underneath here and maybe have it be part of the Zoe world, right? Hopefully that answers your question. Does that effectively answer your question? Like how can you do that? Please, like if that gives you a good enough idea, please, Sketch Song, please let me know. If I need to answer it more thoroughly in a different way, please let me know and I'll jump on it. Gregory says, I am a huge costume guy. You guys should make Journey Quest costumes for sale. Also, Demon Hunters was kind of cool. Where did that go? Gregory, did you miss? I think you're late to the show, man. I'm so glad that you love Demon Hunters because we are going to be releasing some new Demon Hunters modules. Working with Don Early on that one right now. And we're working on a Demon Hunters anthology of shows, like little shorts, 7 to 10 minute little episodic anthology things. A little bit like, what is it, the Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, if you ever saw those on Disney Plus, right, the little sort of short things. Well, we're gonna be doing that with Demon Hunters and really start to garner more interest because I would love to see a bigger swath of Demon Hunters stuff. I really love that IP. I think it's really fun, really fun. As for, should I make Journey Quest costumes available? Are you interested in like us having the mass manufactured, like having an all, a perfs costume? Is that what you're thinking? I mean, this is sort of an interesting idea. Yeah, I mean, you know how they do, like a lot of these places, they'll go to China and they will like build like an Anakin Skywalker outfit that's really, really cheap that costs them maybe $2 to make. And then it'll cost them 10,000 and they'll buy like 1,000 of the costumes for $10,000, something like that. And then they will turn around and they'll sell them for $40, right? And then eventually it makes them money. I don't know that I have like that much. So the question is maybe if we provided some patterns or something? I don't know. I'll have to investigate. I think there are some cool things. Like I would love to see perf hats out there. I would, yeah. Or listen, folks, if you're makers out there and you find a way to make something really cool and you want to partner with us, let's talk. Like I love that because I think that there's a lot of really cool costumers out there. It takes a long time to make a costume. But yeah, let's talk. I'm sort of curious about like, what are we going to do with all these costumes once we're all done? Like we have a whole bunch of props from previous shows that once our movies are done, what do we do with the props? Should we sell them? Should we just keep them for longevity's sake? Eventually they start to like deteriorate and they just sort of sit in our warehouse. Would you be interested in buying those? Or, maybe? I don't think, okay, this is Chris Smith. Chris Smith has a question. By the way, it's 7:30, folks. Thank you for sticking with me. It's been 90 minutes of listening to me yammer. Chris says, I don't think I heard this mentioned, but was there ever a plan to do something more with that short of the zombie ranchers? Oh man. Oh man. Wranglers of Death. For those of you who are not familiar with what we're talking about Wranglers of Death. Oh yeah. So what can I say? I love Wranglers of Death. I love everything about it. We've actually had like 3 or 4 different attempts to write the script for that. I think it's so smart. I have my own story that I sort of wrote for it. Man, I actually think there's a total mass appeal to the Zombies of Death idea. I think there totally is. I think it's a nut that needs to be cracked. I think the problem is I think it's really expensive to do. Like I think I would need to raise. I'd probably need to raise, like actual production funds, actual $350,000 of actual production funds. And that would be at a minimum to make that work, right? Like that would be pretty light. That it's just because all that makeup, the zombie makeup and stuff, and the zombie effects. I would certainly work with Bandersnatch. They're brilliant, and I would love to work with them. And then they would be all in. But you know what? I have to pay them well. I think it's just all the work that they put into it. And so I think that's the only challenge. I think you're hearing a theme, right? Man, maybe what if we were to do like an episodic Wranglers of Death, right? Like small little anthology. That would be good. I'm gonna put that on my list of things to think about this year and next. Wranglers of Death is brilliant. Folks, if you have not seen Wranglers of Death, I think you can still go to wranglersofdeath.com. Let's find out. www.wranglersofdeath.com. Maybe not. Oh, yes, it's still there. It's still there. So you can still, you can't see it on Microsoft, but if you go to YouTube, hey Merc, is Wranglers of Death, is that video on our website? I think it may not be, but let me see, Wranglers of Death. Nope, yep, there it is, the official trailer for Zoe. Yeah, we do have it on there, woohoo! So yeah, yeah, check it out, folks. If you have not checked out Wranglers of Death, it is glorious. Absolutely glorious. Not to mention it was the first show that I produced here. I am really, really proud of what we did with that thing. Oh, here's something. Here's a little bit of a inside scoop. Wranglers of Death was shot at the Rainfire Ranch in Ravensdale, Washington. Here, it's just sort of east of Kent for those of you who live in the area. Rainfire Ranch is owned by a man named Rich Kalis. Rich Kalis was one of the founders of Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, so yeah, Rich and Peter and Steve Connor, they're all like sort of this same posse that sort of run together. In fact, Rich now is on Actor-Oki with us. But yeah, it was his ranch that where we shot all the ranch scenes in Wranglers of Death. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. I'd love to do that. Hey, here's a really fun little story about Wranglers, by the way. Watch it, it's only 2 minutes long. In Wranglers, we put out a call, I think it was on Facebook, we put out a call for zombies. And we looked for people who wanted to come out and be extras as zombies, but they had to bring their own makeup. And so one of the guys who was brought in, he's like head of like the zombie, like end of the world zombie fans. Like essentially it's I don't know. It's he wrangles zombies in like people who like to be zombies at fairs and stuff. He coordinates them. So he's like, hey, I'll bring me and a bunch of our friends. I'm like, cool. So he showed up. He was great. But some people, like in my head, when I think of zombie, I think of like, The Walking Dead zombies, people with, zombie makeup. But not everybody thinks of zombies the same way, Some people have like ideas of like zombies being more clowny makeup. And so if you look closely at Wranglers of Death, you will find that not all zombies look the same in that video, and it's classic. It's so good. There's like people like, yeah, that's not a zombie world zombie. That is like a circus zombie. It's very, very funny. It's great. I love it, and I love everybody's passion and the time that they volunteered. It's really good. All right, man. I think we're starting to get to the close here. 7:35. So I'm going to start wrapping this up unless somebody else jumps in here with any more questions. I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, folks. I will obviously it'll just be going to online. I will be changing the price of the Father All Companion. Please jump on our Discord and share new ideas, please. And mods, there was a whole bunch of really cool things that came up here. If we have a way to sort of capture this, that we can have community feedback, that would be awesome, because I would love to just hear other people's feedback on this. Like, I am not an island. No, I'm just one of the many creatives here, and I just get the pleasure of leading and directing. But please, your feedback is necessary. So, without further ado, I just want to say thank you. I will talk to you in a few weeks. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, and get on our Discord server. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, and thank you, Joseph, for all that you've done. Thank you. Lenny and Jason and all the other mods who are helping. Let me see if I missed anybody on here. Let me just make sure. That's it. So on there, and for everybody else out there, I appreciate you. Take care.